Hello, everyone. Welcome to Behind the Mic. I'm Gary Laubach, along with Mike Joseph, as we get ready for Fordham. Game 2 in the Patriot League for us, obviously coming off a very, very tough loss to Holy Cross on Saturday afternoon. And the opponent, I think, is a little bit more formidable. Under first-year head coach Andrew Briner, they are 2-2 at the moment, and they've got to be licking their wounds a little bit too, Michael, losing an overtime game on a 2-point conversion to Monmouth on Saturday.
Yeah, you wonder if maybe it was somewhat of a trap game, I guess, coming into the Patriot League this year. And, Monmouth's a good football team. We saw Monmouth beat Lehigh earlier in the year. They can score points. They have a lot of athletes, especially on the edge. And watching the coach, Kevin Callahan, for Monmouth go for 2 at the end, saying we're going to put this one away. We're at home. We're down 41-40. And a play where I think Fordham was misaligned and had a little bit of communication, the secondary problem. They ended up beating them 42-41. So they are a good football team, but Fordham's got to be really excited about being home for their opener.
And no question, you don't talk about Fordham without talking about Chase Edmonds. The kid has been just absolutely spectacular in his 3 years. And yes, he is just a junior. I know it seems like he's been around forever. He's over 4,000 yards rushing in his career now. He averages 176 yards per game so far this season in all-purpose yardage, 9 touchdowns, 48 in his career. Chase Edmonds is the real deal without question.
He's absolutely one of the best athletes I've ever seen come through the Patriot League. And you and I have seen Eric Marsh, and we've seen Keith Elias, and we've seen guys really that are just fantastic football players. But this kid is so special because of everything he does. You could line him up as a wide receiver in the backfield. He catches the ball on screens. He's so explosive, and if you get him in a situation where it becomes a punt return or a kickoff return where he's in space, it's so scary you basically hold your breath because he's one of the best athletes I've ever seen at this level.
And as much as he is their most important weapon, they certainly have an outstanding quarterback in Kevin Anderson. In just 2 years, he's put up over 4,000 yards throwing the football and 40 touchdowns. So, Mike, they do have the dual threat. They've got one of the best runners, if not the best runner in years in the Patriot League, and an outstanding passing game.
Yeah, and Kevin's a patient quarterback, and we watched Michael Niebrick play for so long, and you saw the strength in his arm and the way he was aggressive and played with such passion. Kevin picked up right there. He's done a great job. Last year, he's effective with the football. His accuracy is terrific. He finds the open receiver, and he gets rid of the ball quickly, so it's very tough sometimes to get to him. So you wonder what Lafayette's going to employ, whether they're going to play some zone or bring some pressure. And he has been sacked a few times this year, so that is a question mark. But at the same time, the accuracy and the way the ball comes out of his hand so quickly, he's a threat on either end.
As you look at the Leopards, there have been breakdowns. There have been breakdowns on offense. There's been breakdowns on defense. And Mike, I know you have a theory as to what the problem is on both sides of the football.
Yeah, offensively right now I just see a lot of physical mistakes, especially when we're in a situation where we're 3rd and long. And a couple studies I did last night, in 3rd and 1 to 3, staying on schedule, which I talk about so much, they are very, very good, about 70%, 68%. 4 to 6, they're about 40%. And then when you get to 3rd down and long, 3rd and 7 plus, and we've been in a lot of those situations, they are under 18%. Which is really, really tough. But you can't put yourself in those situations. So we're in a physical, the physical mistakes, and it's tough when an offensive lineman has to block some of the skill players we've seen defensive line-wise, not just with Villanova and Princeton, but last week even with Holy Cross. They brought some heat. They pinned their ears back. So those are situations physically we need to stay out of. Offensively. On defense, I've seen some mental mistakes. I've seen areas where we're a little confused. We're not identifying formations, things like that. So on one side physical, on the other side mental, and I think the defense may be trying to do a little bit too much.
And, of course, as far as physical is concerned, we don't know yet the situation with Drew or Blake. Obviously, Blake played a great game last week in substituting for Drew Reed. We don't know Drew's condition. It did not look good, I would say, as of Saturday or even Monday morning. So we'll just simply keep our fingers crossed and make sure that Drew is all right. Brandon Bryant obviously is out. That's a huge loss.
It's an absolutely huge loss, not just from the standpoint of playing and tackling and making plays for the defense, but such a leader, just a junior. But he was the leader of that defense, the heart and soul of that defense. But you're going to see guys like Rob Hinchin, and you and I were impressed with Rob Hinchin. Michael Root even picked it up. Jerry Poe was fantastic on Saturday, a great, great guy to come up, make tackles, play in the secondary. So next man up. Got to step up and play, and, you know, Brandon will be missed, but I guarantee he'll be on that sideline telling everybody which way to go and how to play this game.
You can watch the game on CampusInsiders.com on Saturday starting at 1 o'clock. Our next game up, well, we'll talk about Army, but we will not have that ball game for you either. That'll be on CBS Sports Network. And then we'll finally come back at Bucknell in a couple of weeks. Glad you've joined us behind the mic. I'm Gary. He's Mike.